like this. We've had one of these previously. We've had one game like this previously where nobody went Yasnaya. And then Access Red ended up going there anyway later in the game, and they got that compound down by the red houses. But that was also a very, very interesting end to the tournament. So they've played around this area before. Now we see Access Red out already. They sent Starlord out east. Nothing new under the sun. He's going by himself. He must have like a really good playlist.
See,
I mean, he's just jamming, right? He's just chilling all by himself, listening to old 70s. Isn't it 70s music that Starlord likes?
Must be.
Yeah. They like the old 70s music, right? At least according to the superhero.
Actors, they normally go for Yasnaya, like you said. That's like kind of the drop spot we saw. This time around, they're staying to opt outside of the circle of it. Guess who's gone all the way over to their usual position up at the northwest corner? It's the Purple Boys. They want to just go, hey, look, we've been doing better and better. Let's go for our comfortable play
No
now.
reason not to. I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to. They have 2 minutes until a circle starts shrinking. And that shrink itself is going to take 5 minutes before it's all the way in. They will have plenty of time to get looted, get those vehicles, and start moving in. One issue over here, as we just saw before, the OP Gaming Rangers, they've had the eastern side over by Lipovka for themselves for such a long time, but this time around they got SSS with them. And now for L-Stars, easy landing here. They cannot afford to go down early.
No, and that's the thing now. It's all about not just staying alive, but playing the smart game as we get to these last few rounds. Remember when you open up on day one, you're like, oh, we've got plenty of rounds ahead of us. We can come back into this. This is where you need to keep up the consistency. And that's where we look at teams like OP Rangers and OGN Enters Force, who have been some of the most consistent, always finishing within at least the top 5.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, too, because it tends to be the teams that don't go mid early. That's a live late game. I mean, you see a team in Axis, you see a team in Ensis Force, same thing going for the Rangers, all the Korean teams. They aren't that, I mean, even though they're the teams that are used to seeing the circle immediately, they aren't that, oh my god, we have to go there immediately. Because they'll say, you know what? We'll get in there. We'll play it. We know our rotations are on point. We'll spend that 1 or 2 minutes more looting so we know we're ready for a fight late game. They will have those extra nades. They will have those extra meds to sustain whether they have to take a longer fight or whether they have to sit longer in the blue to make the rotations clear. They're just way more strategic, whereas to everything else is more... I don't want to call it aggressive because that's not necessarily what it is. It's more let's get in the middle and then we'll play off of what we get. Like it's more calculated the way they play. Where it's more I don't want to say RNG, but you're kind of hoping that by going center with all these other teams, you get something in your compound. Because if you don't, you won't have time to loot anywhere else. No,
you kind of forced yourself in, right? You've got no outside advantage at that point.
Exactly.
And you don't want to throw that away. Now, Enters Force, they got a lot to loot through here. They've got all of the ground to cover. They're in a nice spot to start off with. They were some extremely pivotal position choices that they have to make here. 17 the game. The team that we spoke about, literally, we've spoken about them since day one and what they can do and what they can achieve. And they've really started to come alive today. We need to see that continue from. Actos cannot afford to be the first team eliminated this time around. And like I said, how young they look. Some of these guys, like look at Hulk. Hulk smash, but he's like baby-faced assassin over here.
Baby-faced assassin. You can't call him that. You can't call him
He's
that.
He's an assassin. He's been just murdered.
Hulk is not a baby face.
But now he is. The real Hulk?
Somebody clip that and send it to him.
Yes.
Please do. That's amazing. Nonetheless, we got the guys on screen here currently sitting in first place. And look at this. Averaging 400 damage per game is Juanita. That's absolute madness. That's more damage than some of these players might have done throughout the entire tournament on an individual standpoint. Very well done by him. Now L-Stars have room to loot, not a lot, but enough, and they'll get vehicles up as well. You see them right there on the map. Airwolf, they're going down and inside the area of Multa should be having plenty of loot coming out of there too. So everyone really making room for themselves. I think this is the first game in a while where we're 4 minutes in to not have a first kill yet.
Yeah, actually, we've always had at least some sort of accident.
Some sort of accidental landing on top of each other or knocking yourself with a vehicle or something crazy happening. But everyone's alive now, and I think that also sort of showcases the whole, guys, there's 2 games left. We cannot risk going down now.
And this is what it's all about, right? This is what it comes down to. The risk factor needs to be eliminated. And that's what some of these teams are certainly trying to do. Look at this, though. Quite a close section of teams here over towards the mansion. And that kind of area is very where I think we're going to see the early action kick off here. We're soon meeting up with each other. Actors, though, already, they've looted up, started to make their move over. They opted to go a little bit further outside the circle. Now they're going to go and regain some of that ground. And they could find themselves now, loot-wise, in a better position than a lot of these teams.
Indeed, indeed. Ensis making their rotation on in. There's just nothing new under the sun. They've been doing these rotations all tournament long, and it's been working. There's a reason you see all the Korean teams up there in the top portions of things. Only team that's been kind of falling off in that regard is the guys in the Freak of Freaks. They've been unfortunate and got out early in some rotations they've had. I don't know if it's because they haven't done the rotations. I mean, it's obviously what it is, but it's not that their rotations themselves haven't been good. It's just the time at which they've tried to do them. They've run into other teams. They've tried to go in for positions that are already taken, and then that's kind of held them off. Whereas to the guys here on screen, oh, that actually is a Freaker, sorry. They're now in a good spot, trying to take what I like to call Pride Rock. Watch out, you don't want to fall down there. That's going to get you knocked for sure.
Pride Rock now, I'm just thinking of Afrika holding up one of their teammates, like the lion.
Yeah!
And then just push him over the edge. Send him off.
No, that's more of a We Are Sparta kind of deal. You can, actually, there's a new emote in the game where you get like that kick thing, but I don't think you can actually kick people away. That would be fun, though. Like, just get off here. Get off the rock. Get off my rock.
Someone hasn't picked up a weapon yet. They come at you with a pan. You just kick them back and
just
then
kick
blast
them away.
down.
Go away. Go away from me. Milk once again tapping away. He was the force to be reckoned with last game with that mini 14. Really, really made people play. I believe he got 5 kills for himself, but not only just 5 kills. Majority of those kills came in at points where the other teams had no idea where he was. Now Ensis, though, making their run up, and this is a team that needs the points. L-Stars up against Ensis early on, and look at this. They're not fighting this. They're moving back immediately.
Yeah, they can't afford for a player to go down early on. This is not looking good for Ensis here. Already down to 3 men. That'll be the first engagement coming in. Kel's going to back away. He does not want to take this fight. They don't have the rest of the team there just yet. Indigo and Yak are going to get themselves into a nice bit of cover position. They're going to hold back in this compound and hope that L-Stars might come to them.
But I like this. L-Stars has not either been a team that's gone fast center early. Now they went center surprisingly early. Ensis Force has never been contested in their rotations early on. Now they said, you know what, let's take this hill formation. It's a really good spot to sit in. It has been kind of nerfed with the compound that was added just south of the road, but it's a very good spot to be in, and Ensis Force was not expecting one there.
You're so smart, Toby, as well, because it's so true.
Aww.
And I mean, like, I just had a massive realization when you said that, because a lot of Ensis Forces, they avoid the early engagements, right?
Yeah.
They try to stay super passive with it, only do what comes to them.
Oh my lord,
wow,
that's a
this
southern
is a shift.
hard shift. Look at this. There's so many teams up on the northern side, and one thing we know is horrible. That is the area around Lumber Mill. It doesn't have the name on it anymore, but you know exactly where it is if you look on the map. Really hard place to play around. I like to call it the Miramar of Erangel. There are so many timbers rolling all over the place. It's practically impossible to bring in your vehicles, and everyone notices they want to get down there early.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Actors were actually the furthest away. Now, Milk might be able to hear him from that distance. Might be a little bit too far, maybe. Maybe
Yeah, don't shoot. There's no reason to give up. I mean, sure, K3, he's close enough. He can take some shots, but there's no reason to give up your position and potentially get taken down here. Timondo Miles out in the open, and we've seen this before. He has been deadly when he's been able to get those DMRs and play it into the late game, but once again, LGE loses a player early on.
Yeah, not ideal for LGE. This was their chance to come back into these last couple of games here. Going down a man early on is not what they would have wanted here. Actors still making their long rotation round, and they're going to completely reposition themselves over towards the east side of the circle. As Nova jumping in there. Star-Lord's got to be careful. He's taking further damage again. Can he stay up? The Super Scout manages to get it done, and the rest of Actors, they are following just back behind him. Star-Lord's jumped into the water. He's looking for some serious cover. He's like, I'll just swim away, baby. I'm becoming a fish for a second.
He could not turn that vehicle fast enough, a bike fast enough off, and now he's making the run. But look at where he is. Poo-poo fish. They should be swapped around here, right? Because the fish should be in the water. But nonetheless, Star-Lord doing everything he can to bob and weave and make use of the aqua around him and tries to get inside the Lipovka. It's going to be really tough for him to get anywhere, though.
Yeah, Star-Lord's really stuck here because you can't stay underwater as long as the breath runs out. He's going to be really pushed, and they've got a massive high ground advantage, and they can just keep tapping away and apply that pressure. He needs his team to be able to help him get out of this, but do they have the ability to do so? They need to be able to push Nova back a little bit. Star-Lord's still taking further shots. It is quite some distance, and he only has it 4 times, which is very lucky. Them smokes come in as well, which means Star-Lord can get the meds on, bandage himself up a bit there, but Nova, they want this kill. They're hungry for it.
Shots are fired, and you know exactly what's going on down here. The nades, or the smokes come in, I should say, and you see all 3 players there. Help out your in-game leader. We need you. We've had issues when we've been losing guys early on, and they cannot afford it here. Fortunately, Star-Lord lives with the scare, but for Team NL Stars, taking out one of the guys in OGN Ensis Force is going to be an important kill for them. Now they are inside the circle with a good spot there as well. Could be the game they've needed to get back up in the top.
Teamwork makes the dream work, and it's the dream for Actos to take the #1 spot and hold on to it and make sure it doesn't slip away in these last couple of rounds. But Nova, we see Anini get knocked down. This isn't what they would have wanted. Armory Gaming again, they always find themselves in spots where they can have these little engagements here, and it looks like the rest of Nova are just going to leave Anini for now.
It's kind of ironic how they were the ones holding off rotations, and now when they're rotating, people starting to shoot at them as well. Get a taste of your own medicine here, boys. Nova will lose Anini, unfortunately, and 17 Gaming sitting in this high ground position. Really good compound, but as you can see, it's up on the far northern side, and there are a lot of teams to rotate on through should this next circle go anywhere but there.
SSS, the Japanese team, they were just on your screens. They're still up. They had that one good starting game. Second game didn't work out too well for them. They know that they've got a little bit of an opportunity in it, but they're still far down. It's going to have to take a high kill game to come into this. Purple, though, on your team at the moment. We have seen this team have some really strong games where they can get the kills, and it's the placements that haven't been possible for them as of yet. And just look at the positions here. Enters Force on the west. Rangers up on the east. Actors coming in from the northeast side as well. It's the Korean teams again who are very evenly split out at the moment.
Double southern hard shift. This is not an easy area to play around. You got the city and Multa that nobody wants to get into. There are a few houses that you can play around, but as you can see, everyone's driving down south. It's so open. If you don't have a compound, it is opting death for you. There's still plenty of water in the circle, which of course is not where people want to go. And now once again, Ensis Force losing a player. L-Stars though losing Aduo as well. That's the second game today that he goes down early on.
Ensis now only with 2 alive. This is not what they would have wanted, especially after that really solid game previously. Afrika back in it as well. Styles gone down though. Purple are going to give him a hard time. Rosa needs to be very careful here.
That's what we were talking about. They're making those rotations that in theory aren't good enough. They just lose a player, unfortunately, when doing so. Now they are just on the side of the circle, and as you can see, the guys at 17 Gaming, they have a decision to make here. Do we want to stick around and hold off the rotations with the risk of being held off ourselves later, or do we want to make our way in first? 067 taken down by Roa. Great shots with the M16, but he has people fighting them from the backside, and they cannot afford to take too many different fights at one given time. If Rosa goes down here, Roa is not going to be in a position to help him.
All of this that's going on right now is massively helping out the top 3 teams.
For sure.
Because 17, they're involved in that. You've got OP Rangers involved in that, Afrika Freaks involved in that, and all of them are currently fighting each other, while it's the big hitters that are able to sit back a little bit. We haven't even seen too much from L-Stars, which means they're definitely keeping themselves a little bit more passive here after them initial engagements.
Indeed, you see Hulk and Danchi doing everything they can to make use of that little check for as long as possible. Areas will go down, or at least he got knocked here. Unfortunately, for the guys in Crest Gaming hasn't really been their tournament. We saw a little bit of Japanese pride coming out in the guys in SSS in the Miramar game, but we haven't really seen a whole lot from them. Areas will in the end get finished off. Purple Mood trying to net themselves more kill points, that is, in this game as they make their way up the hill. Pureborn Kurat, they have sent their team running up the hill, and they want to get a good position in the next circle.
Oh, Nova under heavy fire from LG here. They've got a nice position to rein in on as well.
Is there an SSS player in the compound of... That can't be right. That must have been a bug in the minimap. I just saw SSS logo inside of all the logos of the LG players, but now it's gone again. I was like, they're not there. They're on the east side. How does that make any sense? But that was just me seeing things. Actors, though, making their way up now. Still 16 teams in the game. Oh, they could go down here. You see AG, they've made their way up, but Freaka already up, and they all have to deal with 17 further up the hill.
Look at Actos. They're pushing up, and they're going to be running into this. Boya's taking his shot, trying to get some damage done. He's under heavy fire, and now he's in the circle as well. Luckily, it's only stage 3. He can still survive in there, doing further damage. And the extra 80 again, he's getting it done, but Actos comes into it. Now wants to come in to finish them all off. They've allowed him to get the fights in here. He's spamming away, running out of shots. Is he going to try and get the grenade out? There's 2 players just sat behind there. It's exactly what he's going to do, and this could do some huge damage. A great grenade coming in.
This is exactly the style we want to see from Actors Red. This is why they're in the first place right now. They did not engage the fight immediately, even though shots were fired. But now, with the third-party advantage, they can make use of this. Denji trying to push on down, but there are more players to be found. We still have Jaden crawling up the hill. Juanita will get taken down, and he actually does manage to get them one down. Jaden secure himself and not going to finish off onto Denji. It's just 2 players remaining for Actors Red. These 5 kills sure are good, but there are still 15 teams alive in the game.
Yeah, this is not what they would have wanted. They pushed into this engagement, maybe a little bit too overconfident. L-Stars are taking a beating from Nova, and actually L-Stars should have had the advantage in that little fight off here. And remember, they're sat in the circle at the moment, which means Hulk is taking a lot of damage. Star-Lord as well needs to come in and back him up. It's Hulk going up against Jaden. Another nade comes out, but it's not going to be close enough. Jaden just looking to try and stay alive here. But Hulk, he knows that he's going to have to move. Both him and Star-Lord need to be able to find a way to either back off or engage in this position. They've got the car as well.
The hell out of here. Circle is already starting to close in now. It's only going to do more damage. You see that Jaden has his first aids to work with. He only has 3 of those, though. He could potentially run up and get some from over all of the dead crates here, but they need to get inside the circle. Actors simply cannot afford going down this early. Now Libro goes down, but once again, there you go, finally. Jaden taking down the Thorny Heel, eliminated, but look at the circle. We're going all the way down to Milta. This is going to be really, really hard for these teams far up on the northern side.
Actors approaching 97 points, are going to be nearly at 100, doing so well right now. L-Stars, YDD, we know he's known for these long-range shots, been able to get it done. Does manage to tap away some damage through the smoke, but won't find himself a knock or a kill just yet. 14 teams remained, and Actors, that engagement seemed a little bit too tough for them. I think they're going to be kicking themselves how they managed to approach that one.
Solo player alive in YDD. That's been the story of the final 2 days here. Really unfortunate for a team that comes after such an insane start to the tournament. Just not able to live up to it the following days. Now, Ellison taken down by Babo Rangers. Not a team you can rule out just yet either. Sitting well inside the circle there.
Yeah, HQ, they're coming into it, and Milk's going to be able to take down Rio. Kurad is just around the side of that as well. Is he going to be pushed up here? Hulk and Actors, they found themselves into the circle now, just on the outside of the new circle. They've got a bit of time to work with, but it's 4 players of 17 just right in front of them. They have to be so cautious of this, and Shocks, this is absolutely brilliant. He's on a great flanking spot, finds Hulk. Can he get Star-Lord as well? He's on the hunt. He knows there's going to be 1 more left. Star-Lord, he needs to play this to perfection. He's quite far away, though, and that circle is coming in.
These guys in 17, they are not giving up on this tournament. They know exactly who they're up against, and they do take down Actors Red in 14th place. Sure, they got themselves 6 kill points, but will that be enough? Should a team like 17 Gaming start popping off here? They're on the northern side of the circle. All they can hope is that they'll be allowed to stay up in the forest area with this next circle shift, but they are in it to win it, and they have a good thing going for them right now.
And this is the problem, right? This is Actors now 2 rounds in a row going down very early on.
Yep.
Good amount of kills this time at least, but is it going to be enough? They need some of the other teams like Enters, Force, and Rangers to be completely taken out of this early on, because otherwise these teams are going to start climbing their way back up and be a real challenge for them. Look how close the points are.
See here, Rangers. They can do some damage to the guys in SSS, making their way around the eastern side. They are all inside the circle, and believe me, they'll be staying around here until the new circle pops. They still have 3 guys up on their feet. They're trying to see if they can get themselves some info now as all the opponents are before they have to make their move. On the northern side, though, we got AHQ up against the guys in purple mood, trying to see if they can eliminate one another so they can make some more space for themselves. There's an arm.
067Q, he's like, I know you're there, just poke up, let me have it.
And there you go, he did manage to get the knock. The finish off comes in as well, but that's going to be sucked to secure that kill. New circle pops. It's gonna go outside of Milta. SSS, they can sure still be inside, and that's what we're talking about. The guys in Sun Sister, they're going back to the style that had them working, or that they had working before, but now, once again, this fight is starting once more.
Now, this little battle here, high ground advantage for AHQ, they definitely outnumber Purple in this actual fight that's going on. 2 players a little bit further away here, but how much more can they get done? Because they've been knocking each other and then just reviving them. No nades being thrown out just yet either, so they've not been able to really flush them out. Milk's going to go and try to get up high on the rocks as well. He wants to be able to get some sort of an advantage. K3 still spamming away, trying to chime in. They just don't want to overextend just yet. As 17 starts to try and find their way into this fight, they might be able to get on a huge flank here. This could be seriously dangerous. Imagine if they can get... Oh, they do get spotted. Lilbo, though, still managing to get a kill in there.
There you go. Libro gets the knock and the finish off onto Just Moment, one of the players we've seen pop off really well for the guys in purple mood. So they must now know for a fact that there are two teams up here. They wanted to go up third party, but look at what's happening. They want to go third party, realize we lost our element of surprise, back off immediately. It's such a smart play to make. They know they have to go to the circle, but now these other teams are forced to take the fight. Winner trying to come around the corner. Milk is knocked. SR is knocked as well, and they will go down. Shoop, they're pushing underneath to get these finish-offs. 17 Gaming, they're playing a game that they should have brought 2 days ago, and unfortunately now AHQ will be eliminated.
17, playing that to perfection. They were like, cool, if we can get the flank, let's try. They saw what was going on, took a few shots, and said, okay, we can back away. We can come back into this afterwards, but they need to be cautious. Rangers here, Babo, long distance, trying to get it done, but he takes severe damage. 067Q knocks him down to 9 health even.
And it's so important that he stays alive there. Look how far inside the circle 067 is for the 17 team, guys. They just need to rely on him to get the info. Who is around us? Where are they? He might not be able to see people, but he sure can hear where the shots are fired and where all the knocks come in. Now you see LG finally forced out of their garage compound, trying to make their way up to the rock formation here. Sunshine goes down, but Ahang's still alive. It's going to be a rough position to play from, though. And here, one of the guys to look out for. Such an insane performance on day number 1, now all by himself in the L-Stars.
What's really interesting as well, Enters Force are in such a good position at the moment. There's just 2 of them left alive. They're keeping it nice and chill. They don't actually have to push out of anywhere at the moment. And remember, for them, they're second place at the moment. Every point that they can try and get, if they manage to get in within that top 4, they're going to really upset Actos.
Libro once again active in the kill feed, getting himself a knock onto his countryman from LSN, and the guys in Super Suicide Squad pushing on in. Now it's going to be OB Rangers losing one guy in the house, and everybody here, eventually, most likely at least, will be forced to leave Milltown. There's a huge open field for them to run into. It's going to be a hard play with all these guys up in the forest, taking shots down towards them. 61 securing the finish of onto Suck. It's going to be one guy down, but he now has Babo just underneath.
Yeah, you've got to be really cautious. He does have a good spot, though, to work from. Gets his nade poised and ready. Nice on the throw. Let's see if he can make it work on anyone. Try and just do some extra damage. You can hear all the shots being fired off. Eska trying to deal damage onto SSS. That's brilliant from him. Him and Babo stepping up when needed for Rangers. 2 kills so far. What else can they get done?
Eska, a player that we really know is one of the best and most capable players. And probably all of this lobby just has not had the tournament that we know that he can have. Unfortunately, they will still within reach of a good spot in the tournament, but they'll need one hell of a performance with a lot of kills coming in from this tournament. 25 seconds to go until the circle will force all these players out of Milta. The entirety of Sun Sisters sitting inside Milta, forced to make the runoff in just a moment. 4 guys alive. This is their chance to make a play.
L-Stars. It's amazing. YDD been on his own for so long, yet he's still able to get killed. He's still able to be a nuisance here. Shogo manages to get the knock. Can he get the kill? Finishes off Kongmu.
Keep on.
It's a good spread.
It really is. You see the guys in SSS making their run up. Pure Boy has the shack. We've seen Pure Boy hide in small condensed areas before. It's been working for him. I'm not sure it will this time around. Babo trying to throw nades up towards Yu. But as you can see, taking a lot of damage and leaving this building. The guys in 17 Gaming from the neighboring watchtower, they will not make it easy for them.
Rangers in 17 very close by. YDD manages to get taken down there. The nade comes out towards him, but he did throw a counter nade. He wasn't going down without a fight, but that's all he's going to be able to get for this time.
And importantly, the guys in L-Stars once again out early, 11th place for them. Look at this. Rangers know exactly where they have 17 Gaming, but they're both inside the circle. They could get some knocks, but there's no way, at least I would think, for the Rangers to push on this. But look at this 61. He's the solo player remaining. He's right behind them. These nades, they could be crazy. And they are! The double nade coming in. I was just waiting for the explosion. Bounces off the car. Unfortunately, goes down. Babo, the hero play of the day. Able to not only get in the rest, but he will make a play in. But look at who's pushing down on this. 17 Gaming heard the commotion, saw the nade, saw the kill feed, and they want this now.
Will they end up fighting against the other opposition? Are they going to go to spray down the car and try blow it up there? Babo's just praying that he can get some of these revives off. Kale from Enters, he's there as well. They've been hidden away in that little house for so long. This is so cautious.
Explode the vehicle, and that is 3 kills. 70 Gaming once again. You gotta know when to engage and when to disengage. They had the time gap. They had the shot to go down there, get the kill. They tried, it failed. They don't overcommit. They back off. They know they have the position right now. Play play it smart, play it for the late game. You're still 4 guys alive, and they're doing exactly that. Rampage now coming in for Airwolves once again. They're getting more and more kills.
LGE now eliminated as well. Enters Force, the longer they can stay alive, any extra kills they can get here will help them creep closer to being able to take the #1 spot away. And Pure Boy,
How are you doing, Pure Boy?
he's like, I got enough one of these games, guys. I don't need to do anything. I just get to chill.
Oh, that's amazing. You see SSS, they're 4 guys forced to leave.
Indigo.
Yeah, this is not an easy place to be forced to leave.
Job.
Unfortunately, Sun Sisters with barely any kills out in 5th. We are now in the area at which people are starting to get these placement points. We have a Korean team, make that 2 Korean teams, and Chinese, and 1 from Japan. Great to see the Japanese teams in the top 4.
Crest getting a better game out here, but they don't really have the points to be a massive difference unless he can walk away with a win, and he is on his own. This looks like 17 are large and in charge. Show just tapping away, trying to take out Rangers here.
This could be another double-digit finish for the guys at 17 Gaming, and if they can add a win to that, that's going to shoot them up the leaderboards. Very, very important game for them. 4 guys alive still, up against 3 teams that in total have 4 players.
They need 14 points to find themselves from 4th into 3rd place. If they can get this done, 17 will be laughing because they had such a slow start to this tournament, as Rangers are now eliminated in 4th place. 5 points, respectable for sure.
The troublemaker here, honestly, could be Pure Boy.
Yeah.
They all know that he's in there. And look at Ensis. They're far down on the southern side. Honestly, I do not see a way that 17 Game, if they lose this game now, I mean, okay, let's just watch it, because I hate to say these things and then it happens, right?
Yeah.
But
you don't
these two remaining players, Pure Boy needs to get out of that shack and land some shots, and Indigo, we know he's a very skilled player, but you have 4 guys looking at your burning vehicle right now. This ain't gonna be easy. You can see they know exactly where the last 2 players are. They know exactly where they have them. Play it smart, guys. You cannot risk to throw this. 3 guys pushing in, Show holding the uphand position, gets down the first guy to low HP. Waiting, goes behind the building to get off some mess. They know exactly where he is. That's 1 player down, and now they can all focus on the last guy. He's down behind the building. Kale goes down to the circle. Indigo just by himself, and it's just a matter of time before those nades come in. There he goes, Sharks with the nade in hand. They know exactly where he is. Throw it up there, throw it far, throw it wide, down behind the vehicle we go. Not yet, but there you have it, Show. And the guys from 17 Gaming, 12 kills, and finally, they get themselves their first chicken dinner.
Yeah, that's some points they so desperately needed there. They were currently in 4th place with 60. So far, they haven't had any wins whatsoever. Their first win's going to see them get a massive boost here. This should, especially with the kills they got there, move them into 3rd place.
10 kills last game, 12 kills this game. Look at what they're starting to do. This is the kind of 17 Gaming that I've seen through the qualifiers and that I know can play this game. Honestly, they might just have started too late.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It was a slow start for them. Day 1, they finished 11th with 1 kill, 7th with 7 kills. They got a 2nd place in there, but it was pretty rough. They then got eliminated 16th with 0. So they've had this whole kind of bounce off here for 17 where it's been very difficult for them. And at least for 17 now, you can say, hey, we've made it into a further money, right? Because the difference between 4th and 3rd is big.
It's really, really big. And also this showcase